The notorious backlog. We all have one, it looms over all of us, except the clinically insane. So many games, but too little time. The PlayStation Essentials added to our library every month. The growing extra catalogue that teases us with games we test out for under an hour and then drop. They're like a demo that taunts you with that one bronze trophy you earned at the beginning, leaving it on your trophy list to collect dust for years to come. But the time has come at last for me to get onto the NC train that we have gotten running by stoking the flames using the backlog as coal. It's time to raise those 1% as close as we can to 100% for digital guts and glory, for OCD, for the TISM. Whatever your reason, let's tackle those backlogs. And here I am beginning my backlog with a stunning game that's actually fairly new, Sword of the Sea. A gorgeous and fun game that I put an hour into and almost never returned, but I'm so glad I did. This game has stunning visuals, really fun traversal mechanics, and I would recommend it to everyone. I had completed a few levels but decided to start again because I'd already missed collectibles. One of those said collectibles were frogs on each level that are really well hidden. I jumped down these ancient ruins pulling off tricks like Tony Hawk and seemingly falling to my doom. But alas, chilling out down here was a cute little rain frog, my favourite kind. Look at this little guy. In each level, you must turn the sand into sea, unveiling the beautiful aquatic life around you. Doing this allows you to progress further, but some of the points where you bring forth the ocean are hidden. Finding them all in each level awards you with a trophy. I cleansed every area in the first level, the Veiled Sea, and was awarded my bronze trophy. There are 50 hidden shells in the game, roughly 10 per level with a few exceptions for special chapters. These can be as hard to find as your house keys when you're in a rush. They are expertly hidden, like this shell that seems to not even be within reach. Once I picked up this one, I was awarded my trophy for this chapter. Just like with Cleansing the Sea, each chapter has its own trophy allocated for collecting shells. Each main chapter has a hidden area where you must beat a high score by performing radical tricks and chaining combos. And whilst I was tearing it up in this area, I accidentally performed every spin trick in the game for a pleasant surprise, a trophy. More on these areas later. For now, I was riding Echo the Dolphin, as I went back to a level I had previously played to find the last shell. I did miss something in this level though, so I will be returning here later. A slight waste of time, but it's all good, this game's really fun and it's quick, so I don't mind going back. Next, I was in yet another stunning area, this time freezing my nuts off in the tundra. After cleansing this area, I released huge humpback whales into the area. There are many creatures that you can take a ride on, some will give you trophies, and guess what, the humpback whale is one of them. Just hop on for a while, wiggle around a bit, then hop off for the trophy. In the next area, I gained the ability to perform a huge boost which enabled me to reach new areas, and zoom through the mountains. I don't know how many places allow you to get this next trophy, but this was clearly one of them. I went absolutely flying across the map, and when I landed, earned the long distance jumper trophy. This also allowed me to reach a hidden area, where I could cleanse the sea for another trophy, and unleash terrifying prehistoric beasts. They were freaky but harmless, and riding on the back of one gave me another trophy straight afterwards. I then made it to this fellow that I'll just call the shopkeeper, and I gave him a bunch of tetra, a currency that you can find throughout your journey. I had already unlocked some abilities previously, but this next one, Super Jump, gave me a trophy. This was a very useful new trick. Now I needed a whopping 5,000 tetra to unlock my next gift. That would definitely take me into the New Game Plus playthrough to gain that much, as it carries over. Continuing through the frozen tundra, it was time to find the froggy. I had to make another huge jump to reach this one, the horned frog, which just reminded me of Futurama's Hypnotoad.
And now it's time for Everybody Loves Hypnotoad.
I then rounded off the frozen tundra by collecting its last shell. Although I did miss a trophy here I'll be going back for later. Then I had a really cool level up next. I was riding on the back of a shark, which would terrify me usually, but he was friendly, and I received the one and only shell on this level. I then made sure not to miss any secrets and cleansed the sea here, so I wouldn't have to go back on chapter select. The dolphin and shark riding chapters don't take long at all, so I was now straight into the next main chapter, and another riding trophy presented itself, this time for riding on a sperm whale.
Disgusting!
This gentle giant also helped me up to a hidden shell. Thank you, buddy. During this chapter, you unlock the Water Rail ability, which essentially lets you zip around like Iceman or Frozone after a double jump.
Where is my super suit?
After doing this 4 times without touching the ground, thanks to using the kelp to stay up, I earned another trophy. I reached the main area in this chapter, the Sacred River, and it was absolutely gorgeous. Flying paper lanterns, giant intricate ships, and some amazing creatures such as manta rays. And after cleansing this main area, whale sharks too. The manta rays were rideable but didn't award a trophy, but the whale sharks do. I chased one down and took him for a spin to earn the trophy. Then I made my way a short distance from there over to my next frog, the poison dart frog. I better not touch him or I'll croak. The next trophy was for riding the Lord of the Sea, the blue whale, above mountains and in between floating islands. Then before heading to the end of the chapter, I made sure to grab the last shell on my way. Although I did completely forget about the hidden trick area for the high score before moving on. Oops. Things change drastically in the next chapter and we go from sand and water to lava. You can't surf on the lava for too long or it's game over for you as you melt like Gollum in Mount Doom. There was a frog to find in this chapter too, but sadly, although very creatively, he was now toast. I found the skeleton frog and his little ghost appeared next to his bones, a grim outcome turned cute. Then I found the last of many hidden texts. You can track all of this later on once you've completed the game, but I was lucky enough to get them all on my first go. They're not too hard to find compared to the frogs and shells. This wasn't what I would call one of the main levels, so there were much fewer shells than I'd gotten used to, which was very welcome. I grabbed the last one here and netted the trophy before moving on to the final chapter, which was a 3-phase boss fight against an ancient beast we accidentally released earlier on. With the help of some friends we've met along the way, I took down the monster, Tournament, and the credits rolled. Unskippable credits. Son of a But at least I was rewarded for my patience with a trophy for completing the game, and a second trophy for getting a score above 1 million! Now I had unlocked Chapter Select and New Game Plus, but plot twist, you also need to beat your score and speedrun the game, so New Game Plus could wait for now whilst I dived into Chapter Select. I needed to cleanse the ocean in the dolphin level, and I missed this twice, so thanks to you lovely guide creators out there, I found the area I missed and finished the level for the 3rd time, and earned my trophy. Then I went to the trick areas I had missed to grab a couple of trophies there, one just for finding all of these hidden nooks, and another trophy for beating the high score. This is really easy as long as you make sure to combo your tricks for the huge multipliers, and it's tons of fun. Now for the hardest trophy in the game, the one that adds a challenge, defeating Tournament across his 3 phases without being hit once. The first phase is fairly easy, you just need to avoid falling debris and don't fall in the holes while scaling the giant tower. But the second phase, my goodness, this was annoying. I think I maybe retried the fight 5 or 6 times on this phase. He fires a laser that is really awkward to jump over, because if you're in midair already, you're kinda screwed. Eventually I aced the phase, with a bit of luck as well, and the 3rd phase wasn't so bad. I had to learn to jump over a ring of fire when there were no gaps, and I got slapped by the orb that he deflects at you, but I realised you could just spam square to always hit the QuickTime event, so eventually I did it. Easy peasy. After that stressful fight, I was freaking out because my trophy hadn't popped yet, and I had to wait for these damn unskippable credits. But thank goodness, the untouchable trophy popped, and I could now focus on the New Game Plus run. So, as a reminder, I need to complete the game again on New Game Plus, complete it under 2 hours, and also obtain a higher score than my first playthrough. The high score was easy because you could just bounce on some jellyfish for 5 minutes to chain a crazy amount of tricks together and get millions of points. The speedrun could be challenging first time around, but the second time I knew where to go and how to complete the puzzles, so no problem there. I also had the benefit of a new ability. I could now get a boost every time I chained a few tricks together, instead of only getting them in certain chapters. So I could absolutely fly through the game for my next 3 trophies. And that's New Game Plus, speedrunning the game under 2 hours, and of course smashing the high score.
Nice.
Now, all that was left was to collect enough Tetra via chapter select to purchase the last thing from my creepy little corner shop friend. I handed him the 5,000 Tetra and received the trophy Loyal Customer. But surprise, the last thing isn't a new ability, it's the final hidden shell, the secret shell, thus awarding me a shining golden trophy for finding all the shells. And at last, this fantastic platinum trophy, Pro Surfer. I even hit a new trophy milestone. Now that's what we like to see during a backlog cleanup. And there you have it, Sword of the Sea at 100%. Now for the next game. Thank you for making it this far through the video. You did it! Don't forget to kindly hit that like button and subscribe to be notified about all future releases. You can stay up to date and chat on our Discord, or support us via Patreon or by becoming a member of the NC Collective on YouTube, like these wonderful people. Now let's get back to the video. That's right, the next game is RoboCop Rogue City. On our channel, Lewis did a full platinum run of this game and its sequel, so go check those out too. But in my case, it's one of those games that would have been collecting dust if not for this backlog mission. I had played for just 3 hours, and I remember I was going through the game completing every bit of side content. That means no trophies missed so far. So here's my perspective on RoboCop. I jumped straight back into the story and had no idea what I was doing. Just that I was fighting against a cool punk rocker gang. I instantly failed by annihilating a bunch of citizens at a gig, but once I had my bearings, I waited for the crowd to disperse and took my targets down. I was on the hunt for the Keith Flint wannabe, Soot. We needed him to talk, so I started destroying his precious guitars until he did. But not in the rock style kind of way. Then RoboCop carries Soot out of his crack den to where his partner Lewis is waiting, but she has been taken hostage by a mysterious villain. He absolutely annihilates Soot to our surprise, and RoboCop suddenly starts malfunctioning. Coincidence? I think not. Lewis is then brutally shot and RoboCop comes around back at the precinct.
Another fucking glitch, what a shit show.
I came back to the game at a crazy point. Next was a super easy trophy being spoon-fed to me just for upgrading RoboCop's signature weapon, the Auto 9. A semi-auto pistol with infinite ammo. From punks to bikers, I was now infiltrating a biker gang's headquarters and being swarmed. For being a crack shot and blowing a bike up, the Live by the Bike trophy pops. Then I showed them why motorbikes are really dangerous. The next trophy was a bit of a secret. You need to either get your reading glasses out and read a book found during this level, or level up the engineering stats so that you can bypass this console and start the train's engine. Follow along the tracks and then climb up top to reach an OCP container containing some special upgrades. Good eyes, Murphy. At the end of the mission, I had to face off with a formidable and terrifying ED robot. This unreliable ally malfunctioned and turned on us. The huge machine just keeps slowly walking towards you, all guns blazing. After quite a long fight and running low on repairs, I eventually destroyed it, earning a nice story trophy afterwards.
You have 20 seconds to comply.
I think you'd better do what he says, Mr. Kenny.
Once back at the precinct, I could spend some lovely skill points, and for maxing out one of the skills, the Practice Makes Perfect trophy is awarded. In dramatic 80s movie fashion, I was then rescuing someone from a bank whilst it was being robbed. And I had to disarm a bomb that was strapped to him. No problem for RoboCop. Just kidding, this happened the first time. RoboCop to the rescue again though, and that's another few story missions complete for a story related trophy. Later on we catch up to the villain that shot our partner, and RoboCop is pissed. In his nonchalant robotic way at least.
Cuff him. He is a cop killer.
We then throw him into jail for the Book Him trophy. Getting into the gold trophies now for story progression. Now a fun challenge for the next trophy. During this mission I had to fight a swarm of new robots and destroy them all in under 10 minutes. A bit stressful being on a timer. These guys are pretty tanky, but a cool mechanic is that if you literally shoot their heads off, they start turning on each other. Thankfully I beat the timer first time and was awarded the trophy.
There can be only one.
I had missed a few little hidden items earlier on. OCP training discs that give you 3 skill points for picking them up. I barged into this prison security room and found one just asking for me to take it. These new mercenary type enemies were annoying because they were heavily armoured, but I realised you can just shoot the hell out of their legs and nuts. to take them down, and they are still susceptible to Robocop picking them up and lobbing them like ragdolls. Another mission completed. During our next mission, Robocop took a visit to see his therapist, and she was under attack from mercenaries. So thankfully he happened to be there to protect her. They set the building on fire and I had to escort the doctor out of the building. But what's that I hear? A cat trapped in one of the rooms? This is missable, but you must be an evil psychopath to ignore the poor kitty. What kind of game would this be without the classic sewer level? That's up next. And this is the first opportunity we have for another miscellaneous trophy. One for hacking a turret. I decided to do this in the most stupid way possible and just tank the turret shots while I hacked it. But who cares? It looked stupid, but it worked. I then found myself at a funeral in the OCP headquarters. The old man in charge had passed away and Robocop paid his respects for half a second. Once this story filler mission was over, another gold trophy in the bag. The story was reaching its summit now, and our villain, now known as Wendell Antonowski, was on the run from Robocop again after being rescued from prison. But he had his chance, so we chased him down, brutally maimed him, and finished him off for good, awarding the aptly named trophy, Not Arresting You Anymore. Plot twist, the old man whose funeral we left not long ago had transferred his consciousness into a destructive robot, hellbent on murdering us. I'll be honest, I skipped a few too many cutscenes, so wasn't too sure what was going on, but nonetheless he looks like a bad guy to me. A 3-phase boss fight ensues as we are fired at by lasers, charged into and chased, falling through the floors of the OCP headquarters as we go. This fight is fairly tough, and the key is to avoid him grabbing you, because if he does, you lose a huge chunk of health. There's a dash ability you can unlock through the skill points. I also had a bug where I couldn't move my camera left and right, but ironically, him grabbing me brought it back to normal. A close call, but I finished him off. You then have a choice of what to do with him, but after whooping my tin ass so much, I left him to die, and the building made my wish come true. I had completed the game now, and then I had to go through so many images depending on the choices I had made during the game, and how many side missions I had done. After this somewhat tedious ending, the credits rolled along with my trophy, and because I had mocked up the trophies real good, the platinum popped too, with impeccable timing. A fun game that I wouldn't pay for. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.